A reading from the Gospel of Mark. On that day, as evening drew on, Jesus said to his disciples, "Let us cross to the other side." Leaving the crowd, they took Jesus with them in the boat, just as he was, and other boats were with him. A violent squall came up, and waves were breaking over the boat, so that it was already filling up. Jesus was in the stern, asleep on a cushion. They woke him and said to him, "Teacher, do you not care that we are perishing?" He woke up, rebuked the wind, and said to the sea, "Quiet, be still." The wind ceased, and there was great calm. Then he asked them, "Why are you terrified? Do you still not have faith?" They were filled with great awe and said to one another, "Who then is this whom even sea and wind obey?" The Gospel of the Lord. Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ. There's a lot that could be said about that story. It was probably meant to give hope and encouragement to a church that was being persecuted. And there's one little detail which I think is just beautiful in it. We're told that Jesus is fast asleep and he's sitting on a cushion. And Jesus is in control. The boat is always a symbol of the church. And back then, the waves were apparently sinking the church. And yet Jesus is in the church. He never abandons the church. He's on a cushion and he's in control. So the storm is meant to represent the storms in our lives. And the story is meant to remind us that Jesus is in control. And if we invite Jesus into our lives, we'll be able to survive whatever challenges we have. So this is what I'm going to encourage you to do for the rest of this week. Identify the storms in your life, and not just identify them, but discuss them with someone you trust. We probably don't have the opportunity to sit down and talk to Jesus like the apostles did in the boat, but we have friends and relatives and people that we trust that we can share the troubles of life and the storms that we're experiencing. So I would encourage you to do that. Some of the storms in your life may be financial. Maybe you've made some financial mistakes. Maybe you're unemployed. Maybe you're underemployed. Maybe you took a risk, made an investment, and it's not turning out. Maybe you're not able to pay the mortgage. So that could be a real serious storm in your life. I would encourage you, if that's you, to identify, to acknowledge it, and then find someone that you can talk with about it. And when you talk to people about different problems, they just seem to lose some of their intensity and grasp on us. And we also can get some good counsel from other people. Maybe there are relational storms in your life. Maybe the marriage isn't doing so well. Maybe you're fighting a lot with your children. Maybe there's a person who used to be a big part of your life, and he or she has just kind of drifted away. So there are relational storms in life. I would encourage you to acknowledge that, but make sure that you have someone that you can talk to and to discuss that with them. What else? Sometimes people experience some type of a trauma. They could be a victim of a crime, or they may know someone who's a victim of a crime. Sometimes it could be a terrible accident. And these are storms in life, tragedies basically, that if we don't deal with them in a healthy way, they can just continue to have a lot of control over our lives. So identify whatever storms you are presently experiencing, or maybe you've experienced in the past, and then make sure that you share them and talk them out with someone you trust. Thanks everyone, and God bless.